What a Husband Wants. This is the Joyfully Married After podcast, episode 20. This is Joyfully Married After with Heath and Tracy. I'm Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
We're joyfully married after how many years, baby?
26.
26 years, 4 kids, corporate jobs, entrepreneurs, and this podcast is our view on life through our lens.
Let's go. Okay, you're going to start this one because you want to talk about what a husband wants. Mm-hmm. So let's hear it.
I know.
Do you think I know?
You definitely know.
Yes.
You definitely know what a husband wants, baby.
All right, then let's talk
about it. But this is for
it.
people who may not understand what a husband wants. Maybe there are people out there that have been married for a while and can't figure it out. It's like, I don't know what the man wants.
Did I always know?
No, not always. not always. I think that, and then there are people who've never been married or who are single now and want to know what their husband will want when they become married.
All right, Heath, tell us. What does a husband want?
Well, the first thing.
Now, wait, this is not what a man wants.
This is what a husband wants.
This is what a husband wants. There's a difference, ladies.
I have been a husband since 1990.
Yes.
27 years I have been a husband. So I know what a husband wants.
Okay. What's the first thing they want?
The first thing that a husband wants is respect, baby.
R-E-S-P-C-T.
Yeah. So you singing now.
Hey.
You singing today, baby.
It's rubbing off.
Usually I'm the one who breaks out into spontaneous song. But you just did it. That was pretty cool, baby.
Thank you, love.
I think a husband wants respect from his wife. He wants to be shown that he's trusted, that he's admired, that he's believed in, right? And I think that those are so key in terms of the husband's ego, right? And so that's what he's looking for. He wants to make sure above all things that he's respected in his house, in his household, and especially by his queen.
I think everybody wants respect. And
Absolutely.
I think it's important to understand, especially in our community. Mm-hmm. Respect is a big one. That's a big word.
Yep.
What is, how much you put some respect on my name?
Put some respect on it.
And it's just really important to convey that in your relationship. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not respecting him, are you really loving him?
Yeah. Yeah. It makes it tricky. It makes it more difficult, right?
Yeah, and it makes it difficult for him to, in turn, respect you.
And let's be honest. Women have a way of being very piercing with their words.
Men do too.
When they want to be.
Too.
When they want to be.
But men do too. Men, and they not all sugar and spice now.
But the title of this discussion is what a husband wants.
Okay.
See how we did that? So we brought it back. We brought it right back to where we need to be today. This is what a husband wants. Okay. And a husband wants to be respected.
I understand that.
Yes. Respect my word. Respect.
What else? Is that all we... Okay, let me do this respectfully.
It's tough. I know it's tough.
Oh, you stop. Stop it right now. Oh, my God.
You want to get to the next one?
Do you want to get to the next one?
All right, we can stay on the respect if you want to, girl. I can speak on this some more.
Please do.
Respect me in my household. Respect me on my podcast.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Go ahead, baby.
The interpretation of respect.
Right.
Is it disrespectful? What's disrespectful? Let's talk about that. It's disrespectful not to listen when your spouse is speaking to you, when your husband is speaking to you.
Yes.
That's disrespectful.
Yes.
What else is disrespectful?
I think that, the world comes at the husband in so many different ways, right? The world does not necessarily hold marriage up, which is one of the reasons why we talk about marriage in the way that we do, because we want people to understand that it is something to be valued.
We want you married and motivated.
Married and motivated, baby. That's what we want you. It is important to hold up marriage and understand that it's very key in purporting family. It's very key in the fabric of America and of the world. And I think that because the world doesn't necessarily value it in the way that it should be, that it's so important to do that. And so I think that understanding that respect is very key for guys, especially men of color, right? It could be situations where they aren't necessarily the breadwinner in the house, or they don't make as much as the woman. That
and they're
happens
being
sometimes.
disrespected daily out in the world.
Daily, constantly, right? So whether it's leaders of state,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
or if it's
whether you're the president of the United States and you're not being respected.
see, I didn't. But the point is that
I did.
the point is that there are always scenarios where the man is being disrespected, where the husband is being disrespected. Oh, dude, you just because you mad down on me and she wants you to do so and so with her. Well, that's disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
And so marriage is not something that people necessarily put that kind of respect on. And so when you compound that with being inside of the home and receiving additional perceived disrespect, I think is important.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So respect can be perceived.
Mm-hmm.
I may not be disrespecting you,
Right.
or I may not mean to be disrespectful.
Sure.
So that's my question.
Mm-hmm.
What is disrespectful?
Right. So I think that showing the husband that you believe in him, that's number one.
Wait. Is that disrespectful? What is disrespectful in your eyes?
Well, if you don't believe in him, or if you're conveying to him that you don't believe in him. So an example could be if the husband is unemployed, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
The husband needs his wife to say, baby, you can do it. It's going to be okay.
But what's disrespectful, baby? You're not answering my question.
I was getting to that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So if the woman is not doing that, or if the wife is saying, you sorry and you ain't going to never get a job,
that is disrespectful.
that's disrespectful. That's not being supportive. That's being disrespectful, right? You're never going to get a job. You don't do anything around here. You just a sorry joker.
Oh, Lord.
Right?
Yeah.
Back to the words. So the husband needs the exact opposite of that. I love you. I respect you. You're great. You're going to convey to somebody else that you are great, and they're going to see that when you go on this job interview. I believe in you. I'm with you. You are my husband. You are the head of this household. You are a fantastic father. That is respect.
Okay, so is it always just verbal? That's my other question.
Not necessarily.
So what's a form of being disrespectful in a nonverbal manner?
Being disrespectful in a nonverbal manner. Okay, so say if the husband has given some instruction to the children, and the wife gives a complete different instruction.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
In front of the children.
Oh. Don't do that, ladies.
And the children do what the wife said to do. So now I'm just disrespected by everybody in the house.
Yep.
Right?
And you've been shown disrespect not only in front of your children, your seed, but they're now being shown how to disrespect you.
But nobody said anything to me.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one example. So it's all about the respect, right? The husband's psyche is very important in the household.
I want to stay on this for a little bit longer because I think this is a big issue in our community, especially. I think a lot of men out there seem to think that they are always being disrespected. And I think what happens with women is we get it mixed up, or we offend and disrespect, but we don't mean to.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Ladies, I don't think we mean to do this. I don't think we wake up in the morning and we say, I'm going to disrespect my husband. I just don't think we do that.
Right.
So that's why I keep asking the questions around it, because it's a little bit weird to me sometimes when I feel like I've disrespected you, because that is the least of what I'm trying to do. Sure. So we've talked about verbal ways. I understand that. We've talked about nonverbal ways.
Yep.
What is can you think of, and I know it's hard because I don't disrespect you, but can you think of another way, or which you heard that's happened to a friend of yours or something, that a woman has disrespected her husband?
So we've talked about job scenarios, child rearing scenarios.
What about when it comes to other men?
Yeah, I think that some women can be overly aggressive or overly flirtatious, maybe with other men. I guess that's something that comes. That's something that comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
I've seen it.
Yeah. That's like the ultimate put down, right? I'm married. I'm here with my wife in this social setting, in this social function, and she's just fawning and falling all over other guys or other men who are there. Anybody who says anything to her, she's laughing and joking, putting their hands on them, and all kinds of things. things that are just very inappropriate to do in general.
Right.
Right. Never mind that your husband is there, but if your husband weren't there, it's kind of the same thing, right? And so I think that that's an example, just complete disregard for how your husband looks at a situation or how you may feel about you being about everybody but him.
Yeah, that's a good point. That leads me to maybe another nonverbal example of disrespect is how you dress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point, baby. And so you see that, especially in today's society, right? So I think the point here is just because it's quote in style does not mean it is appropriate for you to wear.
I'm talking about inappropriate dress and just stupid looking dress, like messy or disheveled or haggard.
Yeah.
I think that's disrespectful to your husband.
Yeah, it is, because you're always a representative of him. If I'm the king, when my queen leaves the house, then she's a representative of this kingdom. And so if she's looking disheveled, looking crazy, looking unkept, looking dirty, it means that the husband is not doing something right.
You think so?
No, I'm saying that's how it can be perceived.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay,
is that I'm not doing something right. I'm not taking care of my family.
Right.
I am not respectful enough. I am not a provider
I'm
enough.
I'm not worth.
Right.
Yeah, I think it speaks to, and guys, these are our opinions. I think it speaks to how you're valuing your marriage.
Right.
If you're going outside and you look crazy all the time, you don't care how you look.
Toe up, front or flow up.
It's not good. It's just not. First of all, it's not a good look, period.
Right.
Because you don't know who you're going to run into. But you are representing yourself. You are representing your husband. You are representing your children, your household, your family name, your town you come from, your school, whatever.
Yeah.
You are representing the church you go to. You're representing something.
Yeah.
So I just think that's a level of disrespect. And then let's go ahead and talk about the inappropriate dress.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, you're showing skin and you're doing all these kinds of things that are just.
What about shoulders?
Shoulders can be okay if presented in a certain way. Nothing wrong with a shoulder.
I love a shoulder.
I think that, what we're talking about is when, someone looks at you and you can't tell if they're a woman of the night or a person.
What if he picked the dress?
Well, he may have like a certain thing for how he wants you to look, and maybe that's just his taste, right? He likes you to look a little kind of loosey goosey.
So,
but that's a different conversation. It's a point of taste and that kind of thing. I think personally, if you're asking me how I feel about that,
asking you personally.
If you're asking me how I feel about that as a husband, I want my woman to always look classy. Nothing wrong with a little skin here and there. You want to look good and feel good about yourself and that kind of thing. But we want to keep it classy, not trashy. That's me.
So my mind is racing here right now.
Okay.
I think of like Beyonce and Jay-Z. I think of Kim and Kanye. I think of Sierra and Russell Wilson.
What do you think about Beyonce and Jay-Z?
I just think they all love their wives. I think they love their wives. I think they respect their wives. But their wives really go there when it comes to how they dress sometimes. Even Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. I think they just go there.
I think.
And so I'm just saying, is there a lack of disrespect for their man? No. Is it?
Yeah, so I think that is a certain scenario where
doesn't apply.
I think there are certain things about that you have to give a pass to from the perspective of the field that they're in and the entertainment business and where they are and, getting the eyeballs and some of those things that are kind of gray areas in terms of entertainment.
Yeah.
Whereas I might see Michelle Obama's shoulder, but I'm not going to see Michelle Obama in an outfit that Beyonce might wear if she's on stage or if she's at an event or something of that nature. But Beyonce has kind of a different lane than Michelle Obama has.
I understand.
And so for me, I want my wife to be closer to Michelle Obama than to Kim and Kanye.
So what you're saying is, if that's your wife's feel, if that's the way your wife has to present herself to make her money, to do whatever it is she's doing, then that's okay.
Yeah, I might not be all the way good with it, but I'm not in that lane, so it's difficult for me to speak to it and what they're dealing with when they go through that.
Right.
I saw what's her name that's married to the minister. What's his name? Devon Franklin.
Megan
Good,
and
right.
Devon Franklin.
So I saw Megan Good speak to that, or I saw Devon Franklin speak to that one night when they were in a scenario. They were in sort of a fireside chat or something, and someone tried to come at them. Oh my God,
it was horrible.
Yeah, someone tried to come at her about how she looks in certain movies or in certain public areas when she's at a premiere or what have you, or ways that she's looked in the past. And she tried to kind of like shame her on that particular item. And Devon was like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
She's going to wear what she wants to wear whenever she wants to wear. And she has me to back her up. I'm her husband. We deal with that, not you.
Right.
Not for you to speak on, not for you to judge.
I like that.
And so that was sort of how he approached it. And so I think that is the correct way to do it, is that you have to look at these things case by case and not make any judgments on anybody because, real talk, we already been judged.
Exactly. Yes, we have.
Yes.
So I think I'm good on
the respect. Good on respect. You good on respect, baby?
Are you?
Okay, I'm good. I'm definitely good.
What else does a husband want?
He wants to be valued. He wants you to value what he values. So I think that's important from the perspective of that you want to show him in a scenario where, say, there's something happening at work. Right. And he feels like, the world is against him. The boss is out to get him, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you're empathetic to that, understand, listen to your husband, support him, maybe give him some opinion that you have about it. But the point is that he needs you to be on his side. He needs you to value the things that he values so that he knows that you guys are one on one team.
So what if she doesn't agree? What if she says, well, baby, I haven't said anything to you, but I really think you've been getting into work later.
Yeah.
And I understand where your boss is coming from.
Sure.
Or, baby, you've been sick a lot, so you haven't been able to go into the office as much. Mm-hmm. Or, I don't really think you put all your effort into that last project you did. Mm-hmm. Where is her role in respecting you?
Sure.
And supporting you when you're feeling devalued outside of the house?
Absolutely. I think it's twofold. One is that when you're talking about the workplace, whether it's your business or someone else's business, then there are certain ethics and work standards that go along with that. So if your husband is out of order, you want to lovingly convey that.
Check him.
You're checking him. That's honesty. That's iron sharpening iron. That's kind of a different thing. But when it's unnecessary, or when you can see and tell that this is some type of anomaly, that someone is out to get him,
right.
that he's
I understand
being ostracized unnecessarily or harassed for some reason, those kinds of things. That's you want him to know that you're with him, that you're in his corner.
Yeah,
that you're not going to pile on.
Right. So ladies, what you want to do in that specific instance is maybe suggest ways he can remove himself from that situation, and that you're supportive of that.
Yes.
If your man comes home one day, he's like, I cannot do this job anymore. Mm-hmm. It's eating me up. It's tearing me down. It's making me feel a certain way. Mm-hmm. You need to sit down with your man and figure out, okay, I'm in agreement with that. Let's get out of this job together.
Yes.
So we need to do the search for the next job, or we need to do the time for building the business, whatever it is.
Right.
Right then and there, you both have to make that decision together to say, okay, I'm in this with you.
There you go.
I'm not against you.
There you go.
I want to help you.
Yep.
That's what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That sense of teamwork, companionship in the relationship.
Right.
Very key.
Support.
There you go. The third thing I want to talk about is the initiation of sex sometimes by the wife. Oh, yeah, fellas.
Wait, so I don't feel like I do that enough.
Yes. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And I think that this is a key thing in a marital relationship, specifically because the man is the man, the woman is the woman, right? And we're talking about it. We're talking about this in a traditional sense. And so The man has to make the moves, and he has to set the mood. He has to set the scene. And he has to think forward and think about these things and so forth. But understand that the man is not the husband is not always the husband wants to understand what his wife wants as well.
Yeah.
And so what happens is, truth be told, the man always wants sex.
You keep telling me that.
Truth be told, even when the man is not thinking about sex, he wants sex.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And so what helps the man is on those off times, on those in between times when he has not initiated something, if you're feeling it, please let me know.
Oh, okay.
Please let me know. Initiate. Rub my back. Blow in my ear. Get some stuff going. You initiating would be a welcome activity for any husband.
I see. I get that.
Yes. Yes.
I definitely get that.
That's what we're talking about. Touch, touch, cuddle, kiss, hug, rub my back, initiate sex sometimes.
So I like to do, as a matter of fact, I love to do all of those things.
Right.
But sometimes I'm not initiating sex when I do it.
Right.
And
that's fine.
Okay.
And you can communicate that. No, there's no problem with that. But what I'm saying is that initiate sex sometimes.
So just initiate sex.
The man.
So what if I don't feel like
Okay, well let me rephrase. The husband wants to be thought of as sexy.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I think that's better.
Yes. The husband wants to be thought of as sexy, right? I want to be the dude in the Old Spice commercial on the horse. I'm on the horse. I'm the man. I'm the king of this household.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm juicy like that.
Oh my God.
Right? But the point is that you never the husband will never feel that if the wife never gives him that.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I have to go here.
Okay.
What if
I'm on a horse.
the man looks like he's 9 months pregnant?
Okay.
Or the man the hygiene is lacking.
Right.
Or just other little things that happen from time to time.
Sure.
Because it's a man and because people just go through things sometimes.
I'm with you. Absolutely.
What if
there's some kegs out there, not 6-packs?
What if he's not respecting you? What if he says things to you? What if he doesn't support you? How, is a woman still obligated to initiate sex when she's like not really feeling him? Or
you are throwing a whole lot into this.
I'm
what a husband wants discussion.
I know. I'm learning here.
This is what a husband wants. We didn't
preview this, y'all. So I'm listening very carefully to my husband.
This is what a husband wants discussion. But let me just speak to some of those things that you're talking about. And I think that there are a lot of separate scenarios that you introduced there.
Oh yeah.
And so generally, let me just say this. So I think that goes back to the conversation of you have to communicate in your marriage.
Yeah, you do.
And if there are things happening with your husband that don't satisfy you or that are turning you off or that are putting you in a different place, you need to communicate that to your husband.
Agree.
Hey, baby, you looking like you about 8-9 months pregnant right now.
Yeah.
Just straight up, coming with it.
And we know when that gets bigger, the other thing gets smaller.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry.
So you have to make sure that you're communicating that to him and letting him know that, that's not satisfying my eye thing, which is connected to my brain thing and is really jacking me up in terms of how amorous I feel.
Right.
So I want you to think about that and maybe, figure out how you want to approach that. And I'll help you. I'm with you and I'm behind you all the way.
Right. But if everything is popping, everything is good and you're feeling it, ladies, initiate the sex. If you feel like it, even if he's tired, even if he's had a bad day, even if you think he may not want it, initiate. That's what you're saying.
You can reverse that feel real quick. That's what I'm saying. Yes, you have hit the nail on the head, my love.
Perfect.
Boom. And the last thing I want to talk about today is complimenting him.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so it's kind of in that same vein with dovetailing very nicely into that. So, if I go in and I knock out the dishes this evening and cook a meal and you don't have to do anything, I'm like, yes.
Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about, right? So just recognizing that it's not always easy for a man to think about things, to set up something for Valentine's Day, to do something really cool for your birthday, to just think that, okay, even though I don't usually cook dinner, today I'm going to do that. Even though the kids normally do the dishes in the evening after dinner, I'm going to knock that down, and I'm going to sweep the floor and do everything with the pots and pans and have the things spick and span and smelling like lemons in the garbage disposal. And
he knows that's my thing.
So if I do those things, the husband needs some acknowledgement, right? So regardless of what it is, if the husband is doing something, give him some compliments, pat him on the back. You know, it don't take a lot.
I agree with that. I love complimenting Heath.
Yes.
I can see him kind of perk up a little bit. And if you don't do it, somebody will, y'all.
Boy, you sure smell good today.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
I like how your beard looking, Heath.
Yeah, it's a no.
Your outfit is popping.
That needs to come from moi. That needs to come from moi. That needs to come from me.
Bring it from the wife.
So when somebody else brings it to him, he's like, I already heard that from my wife.
I knew that.
I knew that already.
Yeah. My wife told me that when I left the house.
Exactly. That's how you do that.
Yes. So you got to be complimenting the man. You know, he wants to know that he's appreciated. He wants to know that he's doing a good job with the kids or with his grooming or whatever it is. Let him know. Because, you know, men are not always romantic and creative. So you just got to acknowledge
Some
when
men are. Some men can be
not
romantic.
always.
Okay, I'm
not
sorry.
always. And so you just need to acknowledge when he is.
Yes, you do. Acknowledgement is key.
There you go.
Acknowledgement is key. If you think he's looking good that day, say it.
There you go.
If you think he smells good that day, say it.
Tell me.
If his beard is a little bit softer today, if he has a beard, say it.
Yes.
If his skin is looking really good, say it. If the thighs looking real good, say it. Oh, you know?
Compliment me, baby.
Compliment him. Whatever it is. It can be how he handled something. It could be anything.
Sure.
Literally anything.
Anything.
If it's a positive affirmation for your man to hear coming out your mouth, it is on point.
Yes. There you go.
It is on point. I don't think I have any other questions. This is very interesting.
Put
Put
some respect on it. Value what he values. Initiate sex sometimes. And compliment him. And you too will have a happy husband.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks again for listening today, folks. If you liked any of what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. Tell a friend, too. And you can engage us at heathandtracy.com for all the goings-on in our world. Queen Tracy, speak to the people.
Bye, loves.